I remember being very, very excited when Richard E. Grant, that's who it is.
Richard E. Grant.
Very excited when Richard E. Grant was cast as the villain in Logan because I thought we were finally going to get a proper Mr. Sinister, but then he
Nope.
was a fucking scientist, even though he was working for Mr. Sinister. Mr. Sinister is the overarching villain of Logan, Deadpool 2, and New Mutants, even though we never see him. They were building to that. John Hamm was cast as him, but we never got it.
John,
Wah, wah.
hopefully he can do a British accent.
Jonathan Hambone.
We're going to finish this all up in one go. We're welcome to the real X-Men 97. We are going to be talking about all 5 X-Men episodes that actually came out in 1997 today. We've got The Fifth Horseman. We've got Descent. I'm not going to go in the proper order. We've got Hidden Agendas. We've got Old Soldiers. And we'll finish up with Graduation Day.
Mm-hmm.
Old soldiers. Olgers, as I like to call them.
Don't call. I don't like that you call them that. No. Don't, mister. No.
He's always there on Veterans Day saluting the Olgers.
That's me.
They are always there on Veterans Day saluting the
Good correction there.
Olgers.
Yeah, that's good. Cheers. Okay. All 5 of these episodes were animated by the Philippine Animation Studio.
Oh, were they?
No shit.
Yeah, it's not real obvious, guys.
Are you sure they weren't animated by a monkey and a pencil?
There was some ridiculous animation there.
Oh.
All out of balance, and Gyrick in the final episode has black hair instead of orange hair, to the point that I messaged you guys to be like, hey, just so you know, that's this character.
just in case you didn't recognize, he went to the salon. Nobody thinks he looks good.
Yeah, he had a bad time. Interesting character to bring back for the final episode.
Hmm. Now, did they knew this was going to be the final episode, though?
Oh yeah, they knew for sure. Like the final 10 episodes were ordered after, like sometime after the Phoenix Saga, probably.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know. That's a big guess. Sometime after season 2, though, because season 2 through 4 were planned in one go, and then season 5 was more of an afterthought. This duo of writers did over half of it because I think they were just like the available people that they trusted that were hungry to do it for probably less money than the people that wrote the original run of the show.
Ah, so we're looking at a Scrubs season 9 scenario.
Something like that, because as I found out by watching an interview with the Lewolds, they mentioned that they actually paid $100 per episode less for seasons 2 through 4 to the writers than the season 1 because it was the most in-demand show, and Fox figured that people would be willing to take a pay cut to work for them.
Oh,
Cool, right?
nice.
Good, right? If you make money for people, that means you get to make money, doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay then. Well, let's just move on to the episodes then.
Ding
Yes.
dong.
Yeah. First up is The Fifth Horseman, which is an interesting mishmash of various ideas that were happening. Like
Another horseman.
I feel like if this episode was animated by AKOM, it would have benefited the most. I think it would have actually been a really cool episode because it's a pretty interesting story. I do question though, like why it even needs to happen, because we discussed when we were watching Beyond Good and Evil that the apocalypse that we're dealing with throughout that whole series is not the modern times apocalypse we've been seeing. It's the year 3999 apocalypse, the one that fights Cable and is at the end, more towards the end of his life. Or else, why wouldn't there have been two apocalypses at some point in Beyond Good and Evil?
The one who sounds like Bane.
Yeah, yeah, voiced by John Colicos originally, although he was voiced by somebody else. A bunch of the characters are played by different actors than the original couple seasons, probably because they weren't available.
I was gonna say everyone got famous.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, after doing the first run of X-Men, John Colicos returned to Deep Space Nine to play
Yeah,
Cole on several episodes that are very good.
very, very good.
Mm.
I just
Most
noticed.
episodes of Deep Space Nine are very good, in my opinion.
Agreed. Agreed. Right off the bat, this felt like an episode of like Gargoyles. Like it looks so much like Disney's anything. Like
Oh, it actually looks a whole ton
that,
like the Gargoyles third season of Space Rise if they were animated by the same people.
I was just gonna say, I was like,
Where different people make the final season of the show. Like
Weenie.
Larry Houston isn't even 100% directing this.
No.
There's another fella. Larry Houston was joined in directing the final two seasons, so season 4 and season 5, by Fred Miller, who didn't direct much else. So I think the X-Men was like a passion project, a big success, but it's possible that the weakness of the final season may have like reflected poorly on him as well. Like I think that the layouts and the designs and the ideas that they had that were going for were cool. Like a whole cult of apocalypse people in South America, all with the blue lips connected to the ears like a Chelsea smile. Like
and
that was
like how they connected that to ancient Egypt and the Mayans, like having similar like architecture and stuff. I thought that was really cool.
yeah, I also feel that Barry Keoghan's character in the Eternals was kind of based on this South American cult worshiping an centuries old mutant. I guess millennia old in both cases. Um, so anyway, we get another Beast episode, which is cool. He and Jubilee are just going down to South America to study Mayan shit because he's into that. I'm stoked that we get more Beast. I feel like the writers like charted out who got the most screen time, or like season 5 is going to give time to all these people that didn't get their shine, you know? The only thing that's really missing is a Gambit solo episode.
Meh.
That'll be fine.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of potential with Gambit
Like
that
a really high stakes poker game or something would be cool with Gambit. Just totally like nothing action.
flashbacks to action scenes maybe, but most of it is like Casino Royale focused on the action of the game. Casino Royale, the book, in
Yeah.
which most of it is about Baccarat. Most of the action sequences in Casino Royale were like conceived by the director,
Hmm.
Martin Campbell, like who nailed at launching James Bond twice. Shout out Martin Campbell for doing GoldenEye and Casino Royale. That's pretty legit.
Oh yeah, that is impressive.
And also The Legend of Zorro. But here's the catch. Green Lantern.
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
The other day, I did my little Jamie thing where I mixed things up, and
Hmm.
I was like, yeah, like that big piece of shit, the Green Knight. No,
Mm-mm.
that's not a big
Yeah,
piece
the
of
Green
shit.
Knight's a masterpiece.
It's a fucking masterpiece. I was like, yeah, that fucking dumbass superhero movie with the ring, the Green Knight. They're like, no. I was like, I don't even know why I talk
Yeah.
anymore.
Womp womp.
Do,
Womp
do either of
womp.
you guys remember or know, because I don't know, Ben, you probably didn't watch that movie, that Taika Waititi is like the best friend in that movie?
Hmm.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Did you remember Ryan Reynolds is in that movie?
I don't think Ryan Reynolds wants to remember Ryan Reynolds was in that movie.
Although he does keep reminding us, like he's killing himself while he does it, but he does like push shove it down our throats that we did it. So I guess it's cool that he wants to own his failure in a big way.
Hmm.
I respect that.
Yeah,
What do you
that's
think
why
was
he's on
worse,
all those Tim Hortons
Shoutouts
ads.
for you
Green
guys.
Lantern or Green Hornet? What was worse?
Green
Uh,
Hornet, I didn't watch it.
Green Hornet, like Green Hornet at least had a couple funny jokes.
Hmm.
Green Hornet had some value to it. It did give the world David Harbour. It's the first time I ever saw him in anything. Yeah, he's the villain in that movie.
All right.
No, I know, but I'm like, you're saying that like it's a good thing.
I know. I'm saying I meant it to be like This frozen yogurt is also cursed moment.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay, so The Fifth Horseman aired February 8th, 1997. It was written by Stephen Melching and David McDermott. The number one song was Unbreak My Heart by Tony Braxton.
Okay, fine. I'll sing it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm
The
just
frozen yogurt contains sodium benzoate. That's also bad.
God, I think Conan has to have written that joke. Like it just feels like Conan with a Conan. Like I know that he didn't write that episode, but the way the Simpsons writing room worked, they came up with a story idea collectively. They came up with a bunch of jokes, and then one of them would go off and write it all together and stuff.
Parks and Rec was kind of like that as well, from what I was like, from
Comedy
what I
shows
remember.
that are 20
Yeah.
a year.
Like one person gets their name on the credits, but like it's a writer's room.
They're the one who does the architecture of putting it together and everything.
Exactly.
But the writers are a collective thing, and like you can't
They
judge.
are a hive mind. They do not exist without the other.
Like
30
sometimes,
Rock did a good job of explaining that to people.
They
yeah,
did.
totally. So totally. Sometimes there's a person that doesn't even write a single episode, but they're just there in their writers' room all the time helping people out, and they're the
Like
staff.
Lutz.
That's kind of my dream at this point.
Leave him alone.
Let's nailed it on Amber Says What tonight. Love it. Love when he shows up. Anyway,
Me so.
yeah, the number one movie in North America was the second week of the Star Wars Special Edition.
Oh,
Yeah,
this was how I
To be
was first
mistaken
introduced to
with the
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars Christmas special.
No, the special edition is how most people that are most millennials and Gen Zs, no, most millennials watch those movies in the theaters for the first time. Actually, most Gen Xs too. Like a couple Gen Xs got to see Return of the Jedi, but for the most
Yeah, I was like 6 years old, sitting in a theater with my father.
Did you like understand the context of what you were watching, how big it was?
Fuck no.
Okay,
I was really bored until we got to Jedi, and then I was like, Ewoks, Ewoks, Ewoks.
that makes sense because you're a child. That's fine.
Yeah.
I was like 12 when that came out. I was
Oh,
at the height of my obsession with Star Wars. It was the ultimate peak time. Like I haven't actually watched it in years, which makes it weird that there's a Grogu right there. But like it just gone to shit with the Disney Plus era. You know, like there's
Grogu's
just
got nothing to do with any of that.
what?
Grogu got nothing to do with any of that.
No, Grogu's just cute and works
I
as
want to see the baby.
a God. It's also Werner Herzog's creation without Werner Herzog. So in my mind, that's more like a Werner Herzog pillow. Were you 11 when 9/11 happened?
I don't want to comment on that.
Yeah.
I wasn't there.
I mean, sure you were vicariously through the music of My Chemical Romance.
Or Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to explain those. You got to Google that yourself. Okay, so also in theaters were Dante's Peak, Jerry Maguire, Scream, Evita, and debuting your favorite movie, Jamie, Beautician and the Beast.
Listen, I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go with it. Um, yeah, that's a banger slate of movies though.
Yeah, it was a good time for the
Every
film.
one of those.
Kind of sad that a 20-year-old movie was on top when all of those other great movies are in theaters, but most
Not
of
a sequel.
them got a sequel inside. I will remember that in a couple minutes. So anyway, Beast and Jubilee go down to South America. They're studying Mayan stuff. They discover, oh my God, this isn't about the end of days. This is about the apocalypse. And it turns out that here we finally get the follow-up to Fabian Cortez's stinger at the end of the Sanctuary two-parter, where Apocalypse showed up, because Fabian is now leading this cult, including this tribe of people and a group of like hunter type people. Like they're based on this group from the X-Men comics called the Hunters, except for Caliban. Caliban looks like he does when he's when he's Death, Horseman of the Apocalypse or something.
Mhm.
Caliban might be confusing for you guys. Like why does Jubilee know this guy and talk to him? Jubilee has before talked to like Leech and the girl version of Leech, not this guy, right? Did that throw anybody off?
Well,
I
Caliban I
didn't.
remember from the movies.
There you go. That was my next point. Caliban has been in two of the movies.
Yeah.
Caliban,
Refers to himself in the third person a lot.
yeah. Caliban in the comics is like before Leech even. Caliban was one of the first Morlocks that we really got to know who had a strong relationship with Kitty Pryde. And
Hmm.
in that time in the 90s, Kitty Pryde and her friendship with Caliban had turned really crazy direction because after Apocalypse turned Archangel into the Angel of Death, he turned Caliban into the Angel of Death. Or maybe he was War. It's possible. It's been a long time since I read these comics. But this was actually stuff I was reading back in the day. So I was pretty stoked to see Caliban show up, but like they just kind of act like there's a pre-existing relationship and you just don't remember it, and you're a bad fan for it.
I've
But he's
been
leading.
here the whole time.
Yeah, yeah. In Apocalypse, I forget who plays him. He's kind of a minor character, but he's the
He's
guy. He's like a broker of
yeah.
stuff in Egypt, I believe. He's there.
We meet him with Storm.
No, he's there when Apocalypse meets Storm, I think. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe Psylocke, or is that a different scene?
I think
That movie's
oh
all
no, I actually think it's Psylocke. Storm has already met Apocalypse. They go to see Caliban. That's where they meet
yeah,
Psylocke.
yeah. And Psylocke just stays the same as she exactly was as when the Horseman of the Apocalypse.
Right? Like the angel gets his metal wings and like Aurora gets fucking juiced.
He gets the Mohawk too, right?
Yeah. And then yeah.
I think Magneto gets like cool, like the biggest kind of armor that he ever has when he's being played by Michael Fassbender.
Yes.
Yeah. I do like Magneto's arc in that, but I think it should have been Magneto turning on Apocalypse that saves the day instead of Phoenix just blasting him. Like that movie falls apart at the end for me because it's just who's the most powerful energy. It's not about a character moment. It's just this character is more powerful than the other character, so they win. The end.
Nerd appeasement.
Yeah, but even as a nerd, like I was not appeased by that because what I wanted of the Phoenix Saga is all of the character choices that Phoenix and Cyclops have to make.
Well,
Right?
don't worry because Dark Phoenix would come a little later and it was a film.
Yes.
Ugh, crap, I have to cut that out.
No, leave it.
They should know.
Okay. Um.
I call this microphone Blackbird because it keeps going into stealth mode.
10 ass.
So Cortez.
Blackbird.
So we actually get dropped in
Blackbird.
medias res to the hunters trying to find this boy that is supposed to be Apocalypse's newest host. Because as we've discussed and from the movies, Apocalypse is kind of a vampire who moves from body to body. So as long as his essence can be transferred into a new host, he'll be fine. He'll be able to go on. But they lose that person. And then they decide that they're going to, once they realize that Jubilee and Beast are there, they decide that Jubilee is going to be the host for Apocalypse. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Straight up okay
Okay.
with becoming a woman, and there's no big deal about it. And I think that is some inadvertent wokeness.
Okay. I did a different read on it, which is, hey, why do you want to be a teenage girl, weirdo?
Oh, that is weird. You're right. That's fair.
The fuck, man?
No,
This
I
is some
just want to
Edward
be
Cullen
inside
shit.
of her
Oh, you're
spiritually,
150,000
not
years old, but you're going to high
not
school?
physically.
Goddamn weirdo.
Spiritually inside of her, not physically.
Okay, you guys read that in a legitimate way that I had not conceived it. So, props.
I'm fine with being inside of a boy as well. It's fine either way. It doesn't matter to me. Please.
I think you should write the next Apocalypse movie.
Hmm.
Only if they get Oscar Isaac back to say that line, the one he just said.
As Moon
It's gonna be
Knight.
Ron Perlman though, right?
Oh.
He would totally cover it, you know?
Mhm.
Anyway. They also to this end try and turn Beast into like they kind of give him the Horseman makeover grows spikes and spiny. He's all big and strong and powerful, and that immediately backfires on him because he just beats the shit out of all the hunters. Like, what are
Yep.
you doing? It's like, hey, we're just going to make you more powerful now and try to kill your friend. So that's a little ridiculous. Um, we get a big brouhaha. Beast winds up saving Jubilee, and they get out of there. We don't even need to call in the rest of the X-Men or anything. So you
No.
get the sense that there's some like real economy with these episodes. They're probably trying to save money by making less characters appear. I think of these 5 episodes, Graduation Day is the only one that has all of the X-Men in it.
Like, do they have to pay to use the X-Men on this or something? Like,
I think it's just economy of like art.
They got to pay those actors.
Yeah.
oh, I see what you mean.
Like, I don't know what scale was then, but it was less than $10,000. But they were trying to save money by paying less of that. So there's often only 5 or 6 voices per episode this season. Like especially the next episode of Old Soldiers, which aired February 22nd, 1987. It was written by
Old.
Len Wein or Ween. Before we get into that though, what do you guys star rate this? Like what's your
Four.
rating?
Fine.
4 out of 10?
Yeah. Like the
Yeah.
story was fine, but it was so shitty that yeah,
Yeah,
you
the
have to give it.
animation being bad really fucks it up, right?
Really, really brought it down.
I've seen this episode like 3 or 4 times now, so I'm now kind of past how bad the animation is. And I actually think this episode is kind of dope. Like it ends with Fabian Cortez getting double crossed because he's failed to produce a body for Apocalypse. So Apocalypse takes him over. He takes his body. He completely
Yoink.
pulls his soul out and throws it away and takes over his body at the end.
Oh, this thing is disgusting.
Yeah, so I think I give this episode an 8. Like I know I'm like this is probably the biggest disparity, but I'm not gonna hold the animation against it anymore. Like I'm past that, and it's a fucking good story. And it's a cool resolution, and it means we get more Apocalypse, even though we didn't need that to happen because Apocalypse is just still alive in this time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wonder if X-Men '97 will ever like try to address that or no, or just blow past it. I think just blow past it.
Oh yeah.
I think I'll
It's
give
just
it on like 6, 7.
so back to Old Soldiers. The song was "Wannabe" by Spice Girls.
Yo.
Yeah.
So that's
This is
one.
when this is when I started forming real concrete memories as a human being.
Yeah, I totally remember this hitting
Mhm.
grade 6 class like a bomb, and everybody
Best music
fucking.
video dance.
Oh,
Anyone?
better than
Oh,
that.
oh
Top
yeah.
10 Dan's video top 10, bro, on
He's
TV
But
Saturday.
like they brought much music to our junior high and like put the music
Oh, they
videos on and played songs
they
and stuff.
they did that for me. I remember SOS by Rihanna
Hmm.
because I was in like grade 9 and that was the video that was playing and like half of the videos then were basically just pornography.
Oh,
Like
just people making out in the club, isn't it?
exactly. And then like right afterwards it was like Christina Aguilera Dirty.
Dirty.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Mhm.
it was crazy. I remember those videos being played and I remember the teachers watching them being like, "Wait, should we wait, Hot
Yeah.
in Here by Nelly was really big.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so we had a Much Music Video dance too at my grade at my graduation dance. And I remember it was pretty mid. I didn't really give a shit. I did slow dance with Angel Van Dale once, which was, a
Oh yeah.
a career high moment for me as a high school boy.
Hmm.
To S Club 7. I think music wasn't quite as sexual in 2003 though as it was in 2000 like 5 or 6 when you.
I know obviously it wasn't, but like I'm picturing you slow dancing to S Club Party.
Yeah.
Definitely the slow song from
Like
that.
oh, it's like I don't know, dude. You're like slow dancing with this girl. She's like, I don't shouldn't we be doing something else? You're like, no, no, no,
No.
slow dance. Slow
Hold me
dance.
tighter.
I only
Hold
think
me
of
tight,
2002.
Angel Van Dam. Feel the ridge line of my penis.
But here's where we get to secret origin part, because the reason that I never had a Much Music Video dance when I was in high school is because I put on the dances in junior high school.
Huh.
That's way better.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We had this deal with this merchandising company called Hound Dog that like gave us all of the tapes of all of the music videos that were in circulation at the time in the 90s. So we just had, instead of Much Music's current rotation, we had the 90s and like late 80s on tape. We had Just Dance by fucking uh
Lady Gaga.
Dagger and Let's Dance by Mick Jagger and David Bowie, but we had like Skilo, I Wish, and Love Roller Coaster by the Red Hot Chili Peppers and shit. So me and my friends, we were the nerds who ran that shit. So we picked the music for the dances and we played like dope ass music. Every single dance ended with Stairway to Heaven.
Oh
Like,
God, I thought you were
You guys
gonna say
remember
like Last
getting dead
Headlight or
legs?
something.
Did anyone give you a dead leg in junior high?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So somebody put on, I guess Much Music put on Love Roller Coaster with the Beavis and Butthead clips playing. And me
yeah.
and my best friend Jordan went to the middle of the floor because we requested the song. We went to the middle of the floor. We started doing the Beavis and Butthead dance. And within about 30 seconds, we both got dead legged and had to just like crawl off the floor. It
Yeah,
was
that honestly, I get
rough.
that.
Yeah.
I had
Humbling.
people
So
picking so that I could do a spit take there just now.
funny enough, I also so after grade nine they did the Much Music video dance. It cost them so much money, and by the time I came back for grade 10, I was a full-fledged raver child, and so the administration came up. They're like, "Hey, you must know a DJ." And I'm like, well, yes, I sure do. And they let me do that once.
Who'd you pick as a
Once. George Lucas used to do a lot of coke. We all have to remember that so many of these choices are fueled by abject giant piles of cocaine everywhere on set.
And references to older movies.
maybe? Yeah. Okay. So Old
Yeah,
Soldier
we got to do that.
is a children's cartoon, but it's actually mostly set in World War II and has a really interesting framing device where Wolverine's visiting the grave of somebody that he fucking hates, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so mad that you died before I could kill you." I don't know who he's narrating it to. I guess he's just talking to the guy that's dead in his head. Um,
Soliloquy.
yeah, it's poetic. Yeah, there's an interesting scene right away where some soldiers think that they recognize him, but like obviously he can't be the guy they recognize because he hasn't aged, and he doesn't want to explain that he's a mutant and bring out any racism possibly. So it's just like, oh yeah, just pretends that he's the son of the guy.
He basically tells
I
him to
just I've
frig
been
off.
drinking my water. I do my skincare. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean the daughter recognizes him at the end of the episode, no problem, and she doesn't look like she's aged at all in 50 days. They didn't even bother drawing some lines or whatever. There's just like no detail in any of the animation here.
Yeah. She's
I
like
I
five
do
lines.
like I do like that they had a World War II story just at the time when like I had a World War II like obsession around this time when I was like 7 years old. I went into like a deep rabbit hole, like as big a rabbit hole as a 7 year old could go in 1997. But like I became fascinated with it, and it definitely was around this time.
Mhm.
That was a fun story. Linguini, do
It's
you remember World War II?
Yeah, Linguini was totally around in World War II, buddy. Um,
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty cool that they did a World War II story in a cartoon for kids. Like it felt like a very grown-up move for them to do. Like lots of TV shows, drama shows and stuff in the 60s, 70s, 80s would do that, but like that's an adult show thing to do. And this is a cartoon.
This
And
was
the
in the
first
same
use
era
of
though
like
as like Magic School
bullets too.
Bus and like
Yeah.
Yeah. This was an episode that I didn't realize any of these episodes came out until much, much later. I think I might have watched these episodes for the first time during the pandemic. I didn't know
Yeah.
it
This is
happened.
the first time I've watched these 5 episodes for sure. I don't remember any of this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that maybe like the Stormfront and that and Jubilee's Fairy Tale Theater and then whatever else was happening, like the launch episode, was really just enough to deter me from watching the show at this point. So it's kind of
I've
like,
already forgotten every moment of Stormfront.
yeah, it's incredibly forgettable. At least Old Soldiers is a little bit memorable because
Mhm.
it's got a twist to it, right? Like we go through this
Oh.
World War drama and Captain America is his partner and he wants to work alone, but Captain America shows up and he's like a badass and competent. It's a pretty good rendition. Captain America is like the only Marvel character that didn't appear across those five shows, right? Like we mentioned last episode, that Hulk, Fantastic Four, and Iron Man were also part of the same world. And then it didn't change until the Silver Surfer, which actually the Silver Surfer cartoon started around now in 97 or 98. The Silver Surfer cartoon on Disney Plus is really interesting, worth watching. It's its own
Yeah,
story,
really cool visual effects on that one.
pretty cool visual effects, and because it ends on a cliffhanger, it just has a grim ending, which I like. You can just look at any show that ends on a cliffhanger, it's like, okay, and at the end of this story, the bad guys win. You know?
It's like if
Sure.
Empire Strikes Back was the last Star Wars.
It's like Spider-Man Unlimited, I think, also ends with him basically dying. Like it's a situation that they probably were going to write themselves out of, but it looks like he dies. So he does. He goes to the weird alternate planet on the other side of the solar system from the Earth, and
Heading up the great hereafter.
I mean, that basically happens in this series too, kind of.
no, what?
With Xavier at the end.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. Um,
Just saying.
so yeah, they're supposed to save this guy wants to defect to their side, and the daughter of the guy is involved with sending them, and some old general who's just very much like the general in Rambo, just like here's a mission, you one that can do it.
Pretty sure his daughter is like Bridget Bardot or something. She's just some like
Modern.
archetypal beauty. Yeah.
She's supposed to be like the idea is that she's beautiful. That's conveyed. Is she a redhead too? I think she is because that's his type, right? Like Logan just loves redheads, so that's part of why he's into
Same brother.
redheads and
Brid-
indigenous ladies.
Bridget Bardot, famously cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She definitely was a nice a person as she looked. Good actress though. I mean, Contempt by Godard is a fucking fantastic. She's like
Yeah.
her
Shame
willingness.
about the crazy public racism.
What?
I said it is a shame about the crazy public
Oh,
racism.
she is a crazy public racist. Was and it, it's
Was.
it's okay that she kind of like looked like a wrinkled up bag of pus at the end because that's who she was inside. But damn, in the '60s, oh boy. Like
Yes.
I'm distracted again. Anyway, so um this guy turns on them when they rescue him. He turns around, he's like, "Oh nope, fuck you guys," and they have to escape from the Nazis. And then we go back to the framing device, and the daughter shows up, having not aged a day or like aged like Helen Mirren does. And she says, "Oh well, the deal was that he was actually a double agent, and they were on to him being working for us. So they staged that whole thing where you guys tried to rescue him, so he could publicly, you know, make it look like he was really on the Nazi side, and he used that to like sabotage them from the inside." Which I thought was a pretty cool ending to the story. Like I've mentioned in the past how I'm descended from an old Dutch guy that used to fuck up things in the Luftwaffe factories as his way of private rebellion. I know a lot of people did that in World War II, and that's why the Nazis lost. Like fascism still won, but the Nazis lost.
Mhm.
So that's
That specific group of Nazis lost.
yeah.
Well, yeah, and they lost, but they all just moved to Argentina and sat around and then had kids, which are now running the world.
And Houston,
Hmm. One of my mom's best friends growing up was an Argentinian Italian lady, and she was so nice. And I can only imagine that her family went to Argentina for a reason.
yeah.
But
We had
she
not.
was a nice lady.
Um, my great uncle, like I never knew my grandpa very well, but his brother or brother-in-law, he was also interned in the Luftwaffe camp at the same time as them. And he, working in Saskatchewan in a factory in the 50s, came across an abusive manager that he recognized as his supervisor from the Luftwaffe factory. And
Yeah.
this guy was treating his employees like shit. So he pulled them aside after a shift one day and he said, "I know who the fuck you are. And if you treat a single person badly in this fucking warehouse ever again, I'll tell them who you were."
Good.
And he backed off and he was nice and chill forever because he didn't want anyone to find out that he was a Nazi.
He was nice and chill forever. as Nazis tend to be.
Many Dutch people just turned around and joined the Nazi party, you know?
Yeah.
Like the French. Many Dutch did that.
Very pragmatic.
Yeah, I mean the Dutch have a history of racism and mindless capitalism, so it's just
I do have a small point of pride being Irish and Scottish because like half of my family are like there's a large reason why my family's not in Ireland anymore. They didn't like us there.
yeah, you got some
Just
trouble. I don't know, star ratings, I'll give this one like it's a 5. There's nothing wrong with
yeah,
it. It's like poorly animated and it's hard to get into it, you know.
it's fine.
Solid 7
Okay, cool.
Wolverine-centric
Six and a
episodes.
half.
Sure, it is
Yeah.
a very centric episode. Yeah, 5.5.
It was funny how it was like, I like these claws. These metal claws are really cool to use. And he kept them on the whole time. Like they were supposed to just be for climbing up that wall. He's like, I actually like these, Bob.
Oh yeah, yeah. 'Cause he
Get used to
hasn't had
this.
any claws yet, but they still worked them into the story and in Captain America.
But he
Like,
had bone claws at
And
this
he
point.
was like, "Oh God, those are I hate every time those fucking bone
Yeah, the bone
claws come
claws are
out."
terrible.
he didn't know he
Ugh,
had bone claws at the time. He's actually like he doesn't discover that.
my bones.
Yeah, he didn't know. Like the X-Men cartoon or the Logan movie where he has the bone claws as a child. Like that's stuff that he'd all lost his memories of due to
Yeah.
the trauma of having the adamantium grafted to him. So he forgot.
Outside bones.
He's not supposed to
Outside bones.
that he has those
Never forget your claws are outside bones.
Mhm.
bones for their dollars.
I know when he's like, "Yeah, I could get used to this." I'm like, "Oh, buddy. Unfortunately, you'll have to."
Yeah, you'll have no choice.
So the next episode actually aired in September 6th, 1997. Like they actually tried to drag a little 3 episode sixth season out of this just because of how long everything was taking to get made and how little Fox cared about fitting these into their schedules. Because like at the time, I don't even know what they were going on at the time. Mystic Knights of Chunano, who gives a fuck? Probably Young Hercules actually at this point. Ryan Gosling was the star of Fox Kids. Um,
Hell yeah.
it's
Hey,
like
what's he up to?
not muscles. Oh, I think he's just like a small indie movie guy. You know, at this point,
He's just
I
Ken.
thought he was gonna go far.
he can do it. So this episode was also written by Stephen Melching and David McDermott.
He got to
Number
work as a driver years ago. Go on, sorry.
with a cool jacket. The number one song was "Mo Money, Mo Problems" by Biggie, Puffy, and Mace.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's crazy that
Oh,
that was a number one song that late. Like, was Biggie still alive in late '97?
Biggie Smalls' death. March 9th, 1997.
Okay, so he was
oh,
dead.
okay.
Oh, that
He did.
He was only
all the video,
24 years
his
old.
appearances in the video was like archive footage. I remember that now. It's all Puffy and Mace.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that
Two
element.
people who have aged super well and have not done anything
Not
bad since.
cool at all. Yeah. The number one movie was Fire Down Below. Do you guys remember what Fire Down Below is?
It was like
I
a
think they have a
submarine
pill
movie.
for that.
It's a good one.
Very good.
No, I think Fire Down Below might be the last Steven Seagal movie to be a hit.
It was like a submarine action movie.
No, I think this one is about toxic waste dumps in Appalachia.
Same thing.
Yeah, it
What
also
the fuck is wrong with that guy?
starred Chris Christopherson and Mark Helgen
Deal with these
before she.
waste dumps in Appalachia.
Come on, Marg.
Yeah. Um. Still in theater were G.I. Jane and Air Force One. So
Hell yeah.
I think
Got
Men in
a,
Black is probably still in theater at this point.
got a sequel in sight.
Yeah, those were the days. So Descent is pretty cool. Again, it's like a thing that really would have benefited from good animation, but it's an interesting idea. Like just like Old Soldiers, we're getting a narrating device with someone telling a story of something that happened decades earlier. This time, it's a relative of Xavier's, who's also bald, played by the same voice actor, but trying to do a different kind of voice, which is cool.
Also bald.
Yeah, bold. And he's telling the story of Nathaniel Essex, aka Mr. Sinister. So we're getting Mr. Sinister's origin. And
Further evidence that Sinister should have a British accent this whole goddamn time.
so the framing device has Xavier consulting with the detective about essentially like they're dancing around it, but it's the Jack the Ripper murders, right? And he's
Yeah.
talking about a creature has been created and he thinks the creature was created by Essex. He like we've talked a lot about how Mr. Sinister has these new men who are these mutates that he creates himself and controls, and Jack the Ripper is essentially one of the first of these.
Mhm.
Then we go back and we show that Sinister, as Nathaniel Essex, is obsessed with genetic manipulation and figuring stuff out because his wife, Rebecca, whose dad is very rich, has some mystery illness. So he wants to like evolve them both like he's finding mutants. So he's trying to find a way to make them mutants. So he makes himself a mutant. He synthetically turns himself into a mutant by experimenting with the X gene and injecting it into himself and diluting it and stuff.
Famously, something that goes well every single time.
Well, I mean, it seems to go well for him because he just keeps adding powers to himself over the years. And now he's like 150 years old, 175 years old, and doing pretty well. Uh,
Yeah, most people turn into a fucking pile of goo.
yeah. Um, it's pretty weird that we're getting an origin for him right at the end of the show. But thankfully, X-Men 97 is going to like pay attention to the fact that this happened and make him an important part of the next season so that it mattered that this happened, right? Because otherwise, it was always been kind of weird for me that this was one of the last episodes. But then it really matters because Mr. Sinister has a great part. I think the best Mr. Sinister stuff happens in X-Men 97 season one so far.
I think this makes
Monsieur
sense. This is your
Sinister.
chance to just like wedge in whatever little storyline you really wanted to do, the whole
Yep.
time.
Yeah, and it's really making a case for like Mr. Sinister as one of the great villains, and it's really crazy that we never got Mr. Sinister in film yet. But that also
I feel like they're building to it.
yeah, well, that leaves him available to be a great big villain in the MCU version of the X-Men. And I think part of the reason why he succeeds is because the public isn't quite ready for Mr. Sinister. People still don't know.
Mhm.
Just people watching this show.
Okay, I'll play him. I'm down.
Cool. I think that'll
Thank
be
Ben. We were gonna ask you.
Do you want the Cockney version? Is that the
No.
Sinister that you want to deal with?
How do I leave a meeting I started?
You
for
just
some
end it, mate.
for
You
some
just cut
reason
him
forever
out and end it.
Xavier is like hella prejudiced against mutants from the beginning and is like the leading guy. He doesn't show any evidence of being a mutant at all here. It's also a little strange that Essex wouldn't be like, "Hey, Xavier, your fucking great grandfather was like harassing me for decades. Fuck this." He chases him around the fucking planet like like Victor Frankenstein chasing his monster, watching the wake of detritus and trying to like pick up the pieces of it. And ultimately, he never catches up to the guy. He never catches him when he's doing the Jack the Ripper shit. He never catches him when he initially like he gets driven out. Xavier does manage to bring a fucking mob of people to drive him out and wreck his life. And Rebecca's all disgusted and horrified by Sinister's plans to turn himself into a mutant and to turn her into a mutant so that she can survive.
Mhm.
It's pretty
So who does
simple.
Rebecca become?
Rebecca just dies of normal causes. I don't think he ever like mutates her. I think she dies actually of whatever her ailment is in the
So
comic.
you're saying there's no Mrs. Sinister.
Dear Lord.
Ladies,
Moving right
he's single.
along.
Yeah, so I mean, I give this it's a six. It's decent.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's nothing like super compelling or interesting, but it's a good use of the time. I'm glad that we know more about Mr. Sinister. We see that he like really is a villain because he drove himself shitty out of love for somebody by doing something they didn't even want him to do. So,
That's why I give this one a French 76.
okay.
French 70.
Let's burn through hidden agendas. This one
In for
4 minutes.
or
Let's do
less.
it.
Is that how much we have? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So it came out September 13th, 1997. It was also written by Stephen Melching and David McDermott. The number one song was the debuting Honey by Mariah Carey.
Mhm.
It's about jizz. It
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Oh, okay. The number one movie was David Fincher's The Game, like the oft-forgotten third best movie he ever did. Because
Weirdly enough, also about jizz.
Michael Douglas does amazing as Jizz.
So you're
He
telling me
usually
you want me to
does.
jizz?
And Sean
You need me
Penn
to jizz?
was
Fine.
Findo as the Taint.
I'll
Oh,
jizz.
is that why he's that color?
Yeah.
Um, Also going wide and being modestly successful that weekend was The Full Monty, which is like one of
Oh,
the ultimate example of a movie that's hugely popular and considered irreverent in its day, but disappears as soon as it's over and no one gives a shit about it later.
Became
my
a
dog was named
musical.
after that.
They did a Broadway musical of it afterwards.
They did. It did not do very well.
So, Hidden Agendas introduces the Guthrie family. We're basically back in the South, dealing with like kind of a retread of all the shit we've dealt with Rogue and her family already, but with a bigger family. Because Cannonball also invincible when he's moving in high speed, and his younger sister Paige talks about him, and there's some interaction with him. Paige is also going to turn out to be a mutant. She's in Generation X, what it was mentioning. She also has an invulnerability based power where she can kind of like create like her extra layer can become hardened. Her like top layer of skin becomes invulnerable for a bit, and then it'll like shed off and be replaced by just normal skin underneath.
Same.
Yeah,
Happens.
called eczema.
Mhm.
Yeah. So anyway, locals are just pissed off that Speedball is a mutant and existing, even though he saves his fucking dad and a couple other miners from an accident. So the local racists all team up. They get one local racist to say that like his less racist friend's girlfriend was hanging out with that guy. Just total bullshit, just to provoke more racism. Rogue goes because she wants to go help out. I forget and also don't care about how she even gets wind of this. There's a funny scene where Gambit says, "Oh, I want to come with you," and she says, "Oh, you're the reason that I need a vacation." Fuck off.
Yeah.
And then he and some of the rest of the X-Men end up going there anyway because it turns into a big shitstorm after Rogue shows up. And suddenly the government guys that are involved with the racists have these armored soldier guys coming to fuck up the Guthrie family, and the Guthrie family are all having to move. What's your thoughts, friend? Jamie?
I I think it's
You
about
need
to
some
end.
company on the road, Cher. You ever hear of mutual masturbation? Huh? We don't have to touch at all, Cher.
I'm leaving, by the way.
Yeah, he's just gonna.
I'm fucking leaving.
Okay, you buttholes. What do you rate Hidden Agendas?
Hidden agendas.
Two hidden genders out of 10.
Give that a solid 3.3.
Sure.
It was
Yeah,
a third
Cannonball,
of an episode.
like in 1995, Cannonball joined the X-Men. He'd been with New Mutants and X-Force since the early 80s. And then they brought him in. He was played by the dude from Stranger Things in New Mutants,
Is it Finn Wolfhard?
not Finn Wolfhard.
Hmm.
No, it's actually Winona Ryder.
Yeah, that's the real answer. It's Winona Ryder. Just a strange choice to make hidden agendas at all. Like, there's so many cool stories and things they could have adapted. They could have gone back to
Yeah.
something. I don't know. We just got like a retread of the basic racism gist of the show,
Agenda? I don't even have agenda.
which was going to be revisited anyway in the series finale, Graduation Day, which airs September 20, 1997, and was written by James Krieg in one of his first writing assignments. And he's like gone on to kind of run the DC animation department. He's written like half of the DC animated movies over the last 15, 20 years.
Cool.
Yeah, I guess. So Honey was still the number one song because it had just come out. The number one movie was In and Out. Great classic Kevin Kline movie. Um, there's kind of an interesting situation in like the other debuts though, because you have uh Clive Barker's Wishmaster, which is like a horror movie about a genie. That opens with 6 million, ahead of LA Confidential, which only makes 5 million its first weekend.
Yeah.
And then if you look at those
Yeah,
over along what?
they made that movie for like $11.
Yep.
That LA Confidential.
Very cheap. It's just acting. It's great.
Exactly. Like there was just the fact that it made $5 million and still like it's
But
yeah.
listen, here's where it gets interesting. So Wishmaster goes on to make 15 million, 15 million, because it's
Mhm.
not a great movie. It's not considered a
No.
LA Confidential. Classic. Even though it made $1 million less, its lifetime total is $65 million. So
Yeah.
opening weekend, like you can say opening weekend is this or this or this, but it's really the legs that the film has that really are the true marker of how good it is. So Graduation Day opens up with one of those classic big political assemblies where somebody is making a speech. It's both a court and the UN at the same time or something. And black-haired Henry Peter Gyrick, the big government spook who was working with Cameron Hodge and etc. to rile up anti-mutant sentiment way back during Senator Kelly's first run for presidency back in 1992. He goes through some of the history of the show and he name checks certain years, like he says 1993, he says 1995. So this kind of contradicts the Christmas episode, and it says that all of this has actually happened over 5 years, as opposed to just 1 year, like in the Christmas episode. Consistency? It is kind of cool to see a bunch of clips from Better Things, though. Interestingly, they drop in the moment when Magneto drops a whole ship with Wolverine tied to its anchor on a city from Beyond Good and Evil into
Causing millions in damage.
yeah, but he drops that moment into the stuff that happened in 1993, like the Days of Future Past storyline or whatever. There's a little bit of
Mhm.
fast and loose with it, but it's a cool history. Unfortunately, it's showing the way better animation right next to the super shitty animation, which really emphasizes how shitty it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. We get Xavier's coughing, and he is fighting this bill that Gyrick is presenting because Gyrick is trying to, I guess, win the right to persecute mutants extra hard. Something. Did you guys catch that? All that?
Yeah, it's like a full mutant exclusion act or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Just exclude them from
It's bad.
any
It's like as
political
bad
activities.
as the Republicans just winning the right to be able to gerrymander every single congressional district so that black people can't vote or can't get representation in America right now. It's like a real bad moment. And Xavier is, I think, maybe making a successful argument. He's got a couple of mutants with him, like Beast, um, maybe Wolverine, definitely Scott.
Mhm.
And Jean. Jean noticeably is where it has her hair like down and long, and she's wearing her comic book accurate outfit. Like she is through most of this series being drawn as she was drawn just for a couple issues of the first X-Men comic back in 1991. But here she's drawn as she was drawn from like 1992 to 1999, 2000 or so. Um, like her most common comic book appearance from like the era that sold the most, and she is pretty helpful. Brings up a lot of good ideas. Anyway, Xavier gets attacked by Gyrick, and this attack kind of like makes Xavier lose control of his mind. So he's already run down from putting all of his attention into fighting this legal battle, and then his brain goes haywire, and everyone has a psychic attack, and then he's like down for the count, and things are real bad. I think Gyrick gets arrested or something, maybe, or
Maybe
I'm not sure. A lot happens in this episode. Like we got
a
lulled
lot.
into like not a lot of plot happening
It was
over
the
these.
fifth episode in a row that we watched.
Yeah, yeah. We watched all 5 of these episodes today because it just made sense to do that today. Because we are running out of time to get this show to you by X-Men 97's second season launch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they bring in Morph to fake putting out a message to the world saying that Xavier is fine, but Xavier is actually in real bad shape. They try to like use Jean's
Did the
powers.
same thing with FDR too.
Yeah. Um, they realize that the only hope that Xavier has is that he needs to get in touch with Lilandra, which is only possible through his psychic intergalactic connection, because otherwise it would take months for them to get a message to the other galaxy. Because like Lilandra doesn't even live in the Milky Way galaxy, so even with like super fancy technology, it takes months to get their message, unless although I guess it wasn't taking months for them to get there, so this just sounds like convenient writing, perhaps. Ben?
Well, it's like radio waves move less fast than like warp drive spaceships, I guess. Like they're still relying on Earth technology to be able to send that request
I mean, like it takes
versus the just like immediate psychic link that you get from like Xavier and Alandra.
well, it takes 4 days for us to send a radio message to Pluto and back. So
Must be
like
really far away. They're not in our solar system. So
yeah, I'm saying like that they're using Shi'ar technology to get in touch with them at all. But anyway, it doesn't work because Xavier is conked out. Jean can't do it because she doesn't have the psychic link herself. Her psychic link is with Cyclops, right? It's your love link or whatever. So they decide to go get in touch with Magneto, but Magneto has been riled up by all the other people on Genosha. So he's been living on Genosha since I did they go to Genosha to find him in the Phalanx Covenant?
I think so.
Yeah. So he's been living on Genosha since the Asteroid M situation, and Genosha is, I guess, no longer a racist place now. It's a mutant country. Sunfire and Feral are the Japanese guy and the werewolf lady that rile up and talk up all of the other mutants into saying like, hey, like they're trying to kill our best, our like even the guy that is rich and famous and well known isn't safe from racism against mutants. So we should rise up and just take the earth for ourselves. And Magneto's kind of been a recluse for a while, but I think he likes the sound of this, so he decides that he is going to lead this. And they get all these fucking mutants, and we see all of the characters that have appeared for like 1 or 2 episodes show up, like the Bison guy with the little midget thing that pops out from Secrets Long Gone Buried.
Tusk.
Gus! And a whole bunch of other various morts.
Boom, ba-da-da-da-doom, boom, boom, ba-da-dum, boom, ba-da-da-da-dum, boom, boom, ba-da-dum, boom,
Oof.
ba-da-da-da-dum, boom, boom, ba-da-dum, bam, 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 bam. Tusk.
I don't
Oh,
really appreciate it.
Fleetwood Mac. Come on.
Oh!
God,
See,
you goddamn disaster.
mine didn't go there. I'm sorry. I've seen that live. One of the best moments of my life.
Hell yeah.
Fleetwood Mac, I saw them 10 years, 12 years ago. Mick Fleetwood fucking still going, banging the drums. There was another drummer underneath him to like make sure that there was noise coming out every time.
Yeah.
But it was still awesome to see them together.
Cool.
I only knew about the drummer because a friend of mine snuck into the arena with us, and so he had no seat, so he just like used his his mojo to get backstage. It was dunks, Jamie.
Awesome.
Oh God, of course it was.
If anyone can sneak into an arena Fleetwood Mac concert and then get backstage and see Mick Fleetwood.
Correct.
Yeah. So, um, Wolverine, Cyclops, and Jean, which kind of really worked for me as like a trifecta of like the main
Mm.
three. They just
Oh
said
yeah.
like you might think, oh, why not send all of the X-Men? But no, there's like they're the core of the team is Wolverine, Jean, and Cyclops, and they're kind of like they're healed. They've been through all of this shit and they can just work together now. So they go to Genosha and they talk Magneto out of deciding to wage war with the world. And they say, like, you're the only person that can come and amplify his powers because I guess you can use your magnetic frequency to amplify powers. And Fabian Cortez is now gone. So the only other person that can amplify someone's powers is Apocalypse because he's inherited that power of Fabian Cortez's, right? God, there's a lot of lore in this episode here.
Yeah, there really is.
So much lore. It's just not. It's just like 2 of the episodes were straight up lore dumps. Um, thank God there isn't just oodles more lore and so much more attention paid to the lore in X-Men '97, eh?
Oodles of lore.
So much lore. Okay, so Magneto does come to Xavier's mansion, wakes Xavier up. Xavier does send a message to Lendra, who immediately shows up. They just teleport across galaxies in their spaceship. And they say, "Oh, we can save Xavier, but like he's got to come with us forever. He cannot come back." Which
Yeah.
is
It's
finite.
like he fully dies and then he comes back to life, but he can only go to heaven. It's like kind of like Jesus. Like he like dies, comes back, but then
It's kind
immediately.
of like Jesus.
Yeah, and he will be kind of a Christ figure for the next bit here. So yeah, it just kind of ends with him leaving, and we see the lineup of X-Men that are all on the grounds as the sun is setting, watching him leave, and it's like Jean with her long hair, and Wolverine, Cyclops, Jubilee, Gambit, Beast, and Magneto and Morph are with them, and that will continue on.
Yeah.
Like
So is this canon? Is
yeah,
this
this is
like stuff
canon.
from the comics?
Like this did happen at some point. I think around X-Men 200 or so. And it lasted for a couple years where Xavier was just off in space and the team had other adventures.
Hmm.
And this is just how they decided to end the show, and it was a good point to end on. And they really like I think you'll be stoked with where they take this on in X-Men 97, like the new status quo, Magneto and Morph being on the team. Someone else is on the team actually right away. So a little bit of time has passed. So even though we're still in 1997, even though like this is September 20th, 1997, I guess all of X-Men 97 happened in the last 3 months of the year. Is that
I
possible?
I guess.
Do they get Nightcrawler back? Is that what's going on?
Um, Nightcrawler is not the member of the team that is there in the first episode. That is all I will say to that.
Okay.
And
Cool.
lots of cool stuff is going to happen. I'm really stoked that we've made it through the hard part. This season especially was the hard part. And when we meet you guys next week or so, we'll be getting to the 30 years later sequel show,
Hell yeah.
where I think each episode has the budget of like an entire season of the 90s show.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be 30 years older.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Can't wait for that. We're gonna be
These two will be dead and I'll be
we're
really
gonna
old.
time aging technology to age ourselves just to be authentic for the show. So it's like a
We're
thing you can't come back from. So it's just for you random amount of numbers because like I never know how many people are going to watch this episode. 50 people are going to watch one episode and then 300 the next. Boom,
we're
boom, boom.
actually going to be using the technology they used on Chris Evans in the Avengers. We're all going to look like Clint Eastwood.
So say goodbye to the Amazon rainforest, everyone.